Hello everyone, Ria here. So ironically, I actually accidentally snapped my ring light that holds my phone. Like I have a I have a metal L arm with its adjustable up and down and left to right. And I just like snapped the plastic piece that my ring light was on. But ironically, I actually like this better. So I had an old bendy goose arm that my phone's currently on, and then I have my ring light in the crook. And I actually really like this lighting a lot more. Plus my phone is in a way where I can actually see it better with the framing and everything, but the lighting is really nice. So I like it. So happy accidents. Let me know if you see a difference. Oh, I also realized another difference y'all could see. So before, what I would do is I would upload the YouTube video to YouTube and then re-download it onto my computer because I record on my phone. And I found out the reason my videos were looking so crappy for some reason was, I mean, maybe y'all didn't notice, but I noticed because I was editing them. When you download your videos from YouTube, they do not download in the quality if you like record in higher quality. So I found that out. So that's why I was playing with the settings. I'm like, why do they look so bad? I know what setting I'm recording in. And I was playing around thinking it was Filmora because that's what I used to edit. And then I finally figured out it was because I was downloading them back from YouTube after uploading them. So, the quality should be in the quality I'm recording in now. If I had known I was going, so I guess like, oh yeah, this video is about paychecks, by the way. This is my last paycheck of March. If I had known it was going to come in on Friday, I probably would have held off on doing my wrap up because I did my wrap up yesterday and I'm like, oh, well, if I had known. Also, I'm so sorry if you can hear my dog eating. She decided to start now to eat. But basically, so my paycheck came in. I'm a little confused because it's $38 less than I thought. When I thought that they're supposed to be the same. Like, I'm a salary employee, and so I thought, like, like each paycheck is supposed to be the same. If anyone's been salary and semi-monthly before, please let me know if y'all's have changed. I didn't have any extra withholdings or anything, so I'm a little confused. But that's okay. So, if y'all watch my wrap-up video, you kind of know this month has been really crazy, so this number isn't too surprising. But I guess we'll go ahead and see here. The way I do mine is I use my cards throughout the month and I pay them off at both my paychecks. Before I was doing YouTube and budgeting on paper like this, I would just like I would pay it probably almost weekly and I would pay it off. But I like this method just so we can see a little bit easier. So my Walmart card I use for Walmart groceries because I get 5% cash back on those. And then my Saver card is my favorite card. For perks, it has 0% APR, and I get the most perks with them. Venture, I just got, and it has, like, I think 13 or 15 months of free APR. Plus, if I had spent, I think it was like $300 within 3 months, or it was $500 within 3 months, I got 20,000 points for free, so I went ahead and did that. You probably won't see this card too much unless I like accidentally charge to it. I just wanted to get those 20,000 points, and I'm gonna just be using it for my travel. Maybe for my gas. I haven't decided if I want to save those points or if I want to use them towards gas or not. So, that's that. So my Walmart card had $367.86 charged to it that we paid off today. Saver had $1,272.50 that I paid off today. And then Venture had $180.90 paid off today. Another reason I kind of like using my cards this way is I can close out the month when I'm going to be paying them, because anything pending, anything I like, let's say, I get paid today, or I got paid today, which is the 29th, I believe, and I still have the 30th and 31st of March left. Those transactions aren't even going to get done pending until after the 1st. So they would be taken care of by my 15th paycheck. But my paychecks do pay for things outside of the outside of my cards, which are the things that come out of my bank account. In this case, the things that come out of my bank account are my insurance, which is $155. And then my student loan, which is $10. So what I do with my paychecks, because I get paid on the 15th and the last day of the month, you'll see me pay off my cards, and then you'll see anything that comes out of the checking account during this time until my next paycheck. And I just feel like this makes a lot more sense to understand how I'm using my money, and for me and myself and I to understand how I'm using my money and kind of looking back. As we can see, I was actually negative by $183.26. That's okay, because technically when we look at my paycheck, not my paycheck, it says paycheck, so I was using the sticker, but when we look at my month, I actually ended up being as scary as this bothers me so much. But I ended up not being over technically. So the most money I've ever come into for a month, because basically this rollover is from my PTO bank, where I got paid out when I became salary and I became unlimited PTO and unlimited sick time. They paid out my PTO bank. So that was my leftover PTO bank rolling over into this month. And I had a lot more planned for this money, because if you see here, my original expenses were going to be $2,122, and they ended up being, I'm sorry, my handwriting, if y'all don't know, I have a hand condition right now, so I can't write with my right hand. Normally I have to either write it like with these like here, or I have to write with my left. So my writing's really ugly, but I ended up being $2,408 over. And yeah, I don't know if I think I counted in my medical and the litter robot, because both of those had to do with this. The internet was what else made me higher than this than I expected. But yeah, so just so we can see here how much, I mean, we got thin margins here to not be in the red overall. It was thin margins, which I would have never expected to be thin margins with this, but that's what happens when you have a surprise tumor that decides to destroy your metacarpal bone. Which luckily I did find out recently, if you didn't watch my last video, actually has a high likelihood not to be cancer, which makes me very excited, and I might get to keep my thumb. Or I will say, the surgeon's plan is to get me to keep my thumb even if the bone's no longer there and it's just tumor goo. He's going to figure out how to reconstruct my metacarpal for me, which I really appreciate, because I was fully planning on that not being the case. So let's see here. Oh yeah, and then this ended up being my final income, which was net more than expected because I had changed my withholdings. So even if this ended up being a little less than I was expecting, it still ended up ultimately being more. So my income was $4,725, not a typical income for me at all. Minus my total expenses, which was $4,530. So even though I was negative in my main paycheck, in that last paycheck, overall for the month I was positive $195. I say it like that because I was supposed to have, the amount of money I was supposed to have was, let's see, 4725 minus the 2122. I'll go ahead and give the fact that I would have had the internet bill regardless. So I'm going to go ahead and also add that 110. But like the litter robot wouldn't have happened and the medical wouldn't have happened. So my leftover would have been, to pay off debt, $2,713. I have collections right now I plan to use that towards. And I was really excited because I paid off. If you don't see here, a car note is not anywhere on here. I was very excited not to have a car note. I paid off my car in February, on February 15th, before all of this was found. So that is my final paycheck, kind of like ending like March on technically a bummer, because like, you know, ended up being negative. This ended up being a crazy month. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll go ahead and just show you my the spread real fast, just so y'all can preview. the crazy, if y'all haven't gotten to see it yet. Yeah, so, and then right after this, I'm going to film my April video, my April setup, and hopefully it's going to be a less chaotic month. Because even though there's a lot of medical stuff, a lot of this medical stuff was like the initial things, and then me having to buy up stuff that like to help me cope with not being treated. Because before this was found, I was just having to like walk around with a known hand fracture and a known tumor without any assistance while my insurance decided to play games. So some of this medical stuff was just like things to try to make my life livable and then accessible, and also buying like accessibility items I'm not gonna have to rebuy in the next few months. Um, for like chopping food or like my keyboard or my mouse, I had to buy like new setups to account for the fact that this hand might not ever be the same again. Luckily, I found out later, now with the psychology visit, that things may be the more same than I expected, but probably not officially the same again. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I bought the things I needed this month to make up for that, to plan for that. Um, we are ending March on a high note because I know like finding out your metacarpal is like gone. It's scary, but it is less scary than not knowing what's going on in your hand and just knowing it's changing and something's wrong. So I am very thankful for getting answers this month, and actually on April 1st, April Fool's Day, um, I am actually getting my biopsy, which I know sounds scary, but I'm actually really excited because that's closer to answers to confirm this isn't cancer. It's just a tumor that's being wild. And I can't tell you how relieving that is. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And please tell me if you have posted your April refreshes or April setups. I've been binging those today, so excited to get to film my own. And if you have a channel and I don't follow you, let me know in the comments. I'll happily follow you. I try and follow everyone in the budget community. I put y'all's videos on whenever I am when I'm working, when I'm doing chores, especially when I'm slow right now with doing one-handed chores. I know I don't have to do chores. My spouse would take care of them all, but my butt doesn't like sitting down. I get very antsy, especially when I'm waiting on stuff and stuff is going wild. The way I do peace is either writing things down and noting things and documenting things, and I can't do that very easily, or it's organizing and reorganizing my space, seeking control. And I have to do those very slowly now and very intentionally with one hand. So yeah, let me know if y'all have videos pending. Let me know if I don't follow you. Have a great rest of y'all's day.